Are you looking for 7 wonders of the ancient world, the remarkable works of artwork and structure referred to as the 7 wonders of the ancient world function a testimony to the ingenuity, creativeness, and sheer difficult paintings of which humans are capable? They are additionally, however, reminders of the human potential for disagreement, destruction, and possibly embellishment. As quickly as historical writers compiled a listing of 7 wonders, it have become fodder for debate over which achievements deserved inclusion. The authentic listing comes from a piece through Philo of Byzantium written in 225 BC, referred to as On the 7 Wonders. Ultimately, human fingers joined with herbal forces to wreck all however one of the wonders. Furthermore, it's far feasible that as a minimum one of the wonders may not have existed at all. Still, all 7 keep to encourage and be celebrated because the brilliant merchandise of the creativity and ability of Earth's early civilizations. Here is the list of 7 wonders of the ancient world. 1. Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt. The Great Pyramid, placed at Giza at the West Financial Institution of the Nile River north of Cairo in Egypt, is the most effective surprise of the historical global that has survived to the existing day. It is a part of a set of 3 pyramids, Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure, that have been constructed among 27 OBC and 25 OBC as royal tombs. The biggest and maximum superb is Khufu, referred to as the Great Pyramid, which covers 13 acres and is thought to incorporate extra than 2 million stone blocks that weigh from to 30 heaps every. For extra than 4,000 years, Khufu reigned because the tallest constructing with inside the global. In fact, it took present-day guy till the 19th century to construct a taller shape. Amazingly, the almost symmetrical Egyptian pyramids have been constructed without the useful resource of present-day equipment or surveying system. Scientists trust that the Egyptians used log rollers and sledges to transport the stones into place. The sloped walls, which have been meant to imitate the rays of Ra, the solar god, have been in the beginning constructed as steps, after which stuffed in with limestone. The indoors of the pyramids covered slim corridors and hidden chambers in an unsuccessful try, and foil grave robbers. Although present-day archaeologists have observed a few excellent treasures, a few of the ruins, they trust maximum of what the pyramids as soon as contained become looted inside 250 years in their completion. 2. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. According to historical Greek poets, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon have been constructed close to the Euphrates River in present-day Iraq through the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar around 600 BC. The gardens have been stated to were planted as excessive as 75 toes with inside the air on a massive rectangular brick terrace that becomes specified in steps like a theater. The king allegedly constructed the towering gardens to ease his lover Amity's homesickness for the herbal splendor of her domestic and media. Later writers defined how humans ought to stroll beneath the lovely gardens, which rested on tall stone columns. Modern scientists have deduced that for the gardens to continue to exist they might have needed to be irrigated, the usage of a gadget inclusive of a pump, water wheel, and cisterns to hold water from the Euphrates many toes into the air. Though there are more than one money ode of the gardens in each Greek and Roman literature, none of them are first-hand, and no point out of the gardens has been observed in Babylonian cuneiform inscriptions. As a result, maximum present-day students trust that the life of the gardens become a part of a stimulated and broadly believed, however nonetheless fictional tale. 3. Statue of Zeus at Olympia. The famed statue of Zeus, the king of the gods in Greek mythology, become crafted through the Athenian sculptor Phidias and finished and positioned within inside the temple of Zeus at Olympia. Web page of the historical Olympics.
This is the
Across
temple
the
of
mid-5th
Zeus.
century BC.
It is
the statue
located close
depicted
to
the
the
god of
southern
thunder
side of
seated
the
bare-chested
precinct,
at a timber throne.
and it represents
Holding up
the
the
most
throne's
magnificent
armrests have been carved
and
sphinxes,
beautiful building
legendary
in the
creatures with the
entire
top
sacred
and chest of a
area.
woman, the frame of lion, and the wings of a bird. The statue of Zeus become richly embellished with gold and ivory. At 40 toes, it becomes so tall that its head almost touched the pinnacle of the temple.
In 472
According to legend,
BC,
the sculptor
when the
Phidias
Eleans,
requested Zeus
after
for a signal
internal
of his approval after
reorganization and
completing the
political
statue.
reforms,
Quickly after, the
established
temple becomes
democracy
struck
in
through
their
lightning.
land
The Zeus
and
statue
founded the
graced the
capital
temple
of
at
Olympia.
Olympia for extra than
They
8
announced
centuries
that
earlier than
construction of the
Christian
temple of
clergymen
Zeus would
persuaded the
begin.
Roman emperor to shut the temple with inside the 4th century AD. At that time, the statue become moved to a temple in Constantinople, wherein it's far believed to be destroyed in a hearth place with inside the 12 months 462. 4. Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. There becomes sincerely a couple of Temple of Artemis, a collection of numerous altars and temples become destroyed, after which restored at the identical web page in Ephesus, a Greek port town at the west coast of present-day Turkey. The maximum suitable of those systems have been marble temples constructed round 550 BC and 350 BC, respectively. Apart from Olympus, the sun in no way regarded on whatever so grand. The author Antipater of Sidon wrote of the temple of Artemis at Ephesus. The authentic temple of Artemis became designed through the Cretan architect Chersiphron and his son Metagenes, and embellished through a number of the maximum celebrated artists of the historical global. The constructing burned on July 21, 356 BC, in line with legend the identical night time that Alexander the Great became born. It became torched through a Greek citizen named Herostratus, who claimed he burned the surprise in order that his call might be acknowledged to history. He became positioned to demise, and the authorities declared it unlawful to utter his call. About 6 years later, the constructing of the brand new temple of Artemis became begun. The new constructing becomes surrounded through marble steps that caused an extra than 400 feet lengthy terrace. Inside stood 127 60-feet marble columns, and a statue of Artemis, the Greek goddess of the hunt. Archaeologists disagree as to whether or not the constructing had an open-air ceiling or become crowned with timber tiles. The temple became in large part destroyed through Ostrogoths in AD 262, and it became now no longer till the 1860s that archaeologists dug up the primary of the ruins of the temple's columns at the lowest of the Cayster River. 5. Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Located in what's now southeastern Turkey, the Mausoleum at Halicarnassus became a tomb constructed through Artemisia for her husband, Mausolus, the king of Carnia in Asia Minor, after his demise in 353 BC. Mausolus became additionally Artemisia's brother, and, in line with legend, she became so grief-bothered at his passing that she blended his ashes with water and drank them, further to ordering the mausoleum's construction. The huge mausoleum became made absolutely of white marble, and is idea to be approximately 135 toes excessive. The constructing's complex design, inclusive of 3 square layers, can also additionally wear a tri and reconcile Lycian, Greek, and Egyptian architectural styles. The first layer become a 60-feet base of steps, observed through a center layer of 36 Ionic columns, and a stepped, pyramid-fashioned roof. At the very pinnacle of the roof lay the tomb, embellished through the paintings of 4 sculptors, and a 20-feet marble rendition of a 4-horse chariot. The mausoleum became in large part destroyed in an earthquake with inside the 13th century, and its stays have been later used with inside the fortification of a fort. In 1846, portions of one of the mausoleum's friezes have been extracted from the fort, and now reside, alongside different relics from the Halicarnassus webpage, in London's British Museum. 6. Colossus of Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes became an extensive bronze sculpture of the solar god Helios, constructed through the Rhodians over 12 years with inside the 0.33 century BC. The town became the goal of a Macedonian siege early with inside the 4th century BC, and, in line with legend, the Rhodians offered the equipment and system left at the back of through the Macedonians to pay for the Colossus. Designed through the sculptor chairs, the statue became, at 100 toes, the tallest of the historical global. It became finished around 280 BC and stood for 60 years till it became toppled in an earthquake. It became in no way rebuilt. Hundreds of years later, Arabs invaded Rhodes and offered the stays of the statue as scrap metal. Because of this, archaeologists do now no longer recognize lots approximately the precise area of the statue, or where it regarded light. Most trust that it depicted the solar god Stratosphere whilst he lifted a torch with one hand and held a spear with inside the different. It became as soon as believed that the statue stood with one leg on every aspect of a harbor. However, maximum students now agree that the statue's legs have been maximum in all likelihood constructed here collectively to aid its sizable weight. 7. Lighthouse of Alexandria. The Lighthouse of Alexandria became placed on a small island referred to as Pharos close to the town of Alexandria, designed through the Greek architect Sistratos, and finished around 270 BC. At some stage in the reign of Ptolemy II, the lighthouse helped to manual Nile River ships inside and out of the town's busy harbor. Archaeologists have observed historical cache on which the lighthouse become depicted, and from them deduced that the shape had 3 tiers, a rectangular stage at the lowest, an octagonal stage with inside the center, and a cylindrical pinnacle. Above that stood a 16-feet statue, maximum in all likelihood of Ptolemy II or Alexander the Great, for whom the town become named. Although estimates of the lighthouse's peak have ranged from 200 to 600 toes, maximum present-day students trust it become approximately 380 toes tall. The lighthouse become regularly destroyed at some stage in a sequence of earthquakes from 956 to 1323. Some of its stays have considering that been observed at the lowest of the Nile.